The patrons have spoken, and Cooper Kupp is on the block, guys. I have a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.75 tight end premium start 10. Cooper Kupp or 2 25 Scott?
I'm going to take this from the side of I am trying to move Cooper Kupp in May, which we're getting close to the season where there might be teams starting to fish through leagues and see what they can buy for the upcoming season. But if you're trying to sell them now, you keep going to your roster, get more rosters. Because if you're going to the same roster a couple times a week, going, man, that Cooper Kupp, I'd love to sell him. Reality is, if you really want to get peak 100% price, it's got to be during the season, and he probably has to start off good, hot, not injured. Because if any of those happen and it goes the other way, you're going to go, man, I wish I would have sold for this price on the screen. So I think if you really just want to get rid of them, this isn't a bad price. I'd like to formulate a deal a little bit different. Can I swap a second and Kupp and get a first? Can I get a 26 first if I add a third or another running back or something like that? I'd rather get a better asset. But Kupp wasn't bad last year. If you can't get what you want, don't just settle for this unless it's a team where you go, I benefit by getting him off my team before the season even starts. If there's 3 or 4 teams that are selling and you want to be the race to get to the first set of picks that's available, then fine. But he had over a 25% target share last year, even with Puka. It's not like the offense is going to change. Heck, they're probably not going to have a tight end as good as last year. So I'm actually kind of in on Kupp unless I can get the price that I want. Obviously, I would buy him for less than this. Probably would pay this price if I was buying. But if I'm selling, you kind of got to be creative. And this is just a settle price, right, Shane?
So Scott makes several just really good points, but you know what I heard the whole time? Because no one cares. Because I could go out there and go get me a DeAndre Hopkins, a Michael Evans, a Christian Kirk, it doesn't matter. Like, these dudes are all the same guy. And everything he said was true. Literally everything he said was true. But there's a conglomerate, wrong word. There's a bunch of dudes that I could get that fall in this Cooper Kupp range if I'm trying to buy. So to me, if I'm assuming I'm trying to get Kupp off my roster too. So if I can get 2 mid-25 seconds for him right now, I'm going to take it because the risk is high because he is 30 years old. He does have a history of groinial issues, right? So that groinial issue could pop up at any moment next year and then just nuke his value. And then the person that has those seconds could just go, well, I'm just going to go get Nuke Hopkins or Calvin Ridley instead, or they could have already spent it on something else at that point. So I would take it if I'm looking to move Kupp. That said, I'd also probably buy Kupp for that price too if I have a competing roster.
Scott, if you're ready to compete and need points right now, your team's old, you have all the Derrick Henrys, the Travis Kelce's on your team, you just need one more receiver. Would you give up Rome Odunze for Cooper Kupp in a first, or would you sell Cooper Kupp in a first to go get Rome Odunze?
Yeah, when I first saw this trade, I'm sitting here thinking, man, it's tough to give up Kupp in a first for another receiver that I'm betting is going to be in a range above the quote-unquote threshold guys, the innings eaters guys. But I also can look at this and say, man, you're allowing me to get Odunze and count Cooper Kupp as, 30% of this trade, 40% of this trade, something like that. Sometimes you have to just eat it and say, I'm getting credit for something that I wouldn't be able to get credit for by itself. It's like getting someone else to sign on a loan for you. You couldn't get it yourself, but just their little credit score or their signature helps you secure the investment that you want. So if you really want a Odunze, or more importantly, you think your league is just going to be stuck on not wanting to buy an old player, this is a creative way to do it. I'd like to pay less. Can I get a second coming back my way, a third, a running back, something else I can move? Probably take the Odunze side, though.
What do you got, Shane?
I would absolutely hammer smash the Odunze side. Odunze, I haven't looked at KTC. Well, that's a lie, but I haven't looked it down. But where's Rome Odunze right now? Wide receiver 11-ish? Has he moved?
Top 15.
Top 15. It's not going to take much for him to even climb next year. So I might, this time next year, might look back fondly or sadly if I don't make this move and go, remember that time I could have gotten Rome Odunze for Cooper Kupp in the first, and when Keenan Allen is retired and DJ Moore has moved on, and I'll take the Rome Odunze side.
All right, guys, let's continue the conversation about Cooper Kupp in the Discord.